Welcome to another episode of Dirt Tube Daily. This is day 2 on the head gaskets. It's actually Tuesday night. I was pretty sick, as you could tell on that last episode, and so Sunday I got some rest, and then Monday, I don't remember what happened on Monday. I was sick on Monday again. Anyway, so I'm starting to feel better, but I did want to do some other checks. Because of that intake manifold, that throttle body is super nasty. I guess the first thing I want to do, I want to check to see if the oil. See if the oil looks like that. Oh yeah, it is. So right there, there's our culprit. It's called milkshake. You don't want milkshake. And so, yeah, it's real freaking nasty looking. Let's see what it looks like on the inside of the cap. Ugh, milkshake. Yeah, that's gross. Nasty. So that's a pretty dang good sign that you have head gasket issues, is a milkshake oil. Freaking nasty looking. Anyway, I also went ahead and ordered a new tensioner and idler. So this tensioner, this is the idler. This tensioner actually comes as a whole. This tensioner is actually still good. The bearing on it is fine. It just doesn't fit the shaft. It's wobbly on the shaft. That is strange. Made in Canada. I don't know if it's supposed to be made in Japan or not. Let me look at this other one. This one's made in Japan. So it looks like somebody got an aftermarket one of these. And it was not the right part. So getting a new one will be good anyway. And then this one, I don't think you can hear that, but you can feel it, and it's wiggly, and so replacing that one's a good must. And then it's like $10 for a new V-belt. Anyway. Or a new serpentine belt. It's not a V-belt. So, I'm going to see what I can do about this guy first. And then I'm going to drain the oil and see how nasty that looks. Shoot, I really wish... So my initial plan was to dump seafoam in the oil and run it like that. And it was just so freaking cold on Saturday that my hands were frozen and I couldn't do anything, and so I wasn't thinking anyway, and so I didn't put that in and let it. So you put seafoam in the oil and you let it idle, or you drive it around for a little while, and that totally takes out major carbon deposits in the engine, in all the oil passages, and it would have been really good, especially with how freaking nasty my oil is, to really clean that out. So we'll see how yummy the actual oil coming out of the oil pan looks. So I might still, I'm just thinking in my head, I would still like to do that, but that would mean I'd have to like change the oil twice, which I don't really want to do. Anyway, yeah, let's start with this guy. I gotta pull these off so I can actually get to the nut. It's a 22mm socket, and I was using the 7/8 one, but I went and found a 1/2" breaker bar with a 22, so that's gonna be a lot more helpful. And then what I do, I grab the biggest screwdriver I can find, and then I shove it right there. might go. There we go. There we go. So jack handle, breaker bar, and then a really hefty screwdriver just kind of rammed, just stuck in right there. Make sure it's real hefty, otherwise it's going to bust. But this one did really good. Held up to the job, and then this just comes off by hand. Mondo bolt. And that pulls just straight off. It's got a keyway on there and an O-ring. Okay, so inspect this O-ring, make sure it looks good. Replace it if you can. It's always going to be best practice, especially for an O-ring that's going to be probably less than $1. I'm assuming this one's going to be dried out really hard. So replace that. There's that front seal there that you'll want to replace. I'm really hoping my gasket kit has that in it, because I don't want to buy stuff at local parts stores because it's always way too expensive. I need to drain the oil now because this front cover has oil in it, and so the oil needs to be out of it before I can take that cover off. So I did really quick just want to point out that in this kind of a situation where the engine is kind of unknown, literally I've owned this car for like 3 days. Well, I've owned it for, I don't even remember, a week maybe? But I've been in the presence of this car for maybe 5 hours tops. And so I'm really, as I tear this down, I'm trying to figure out as much as possible about the car. The outside looks pretty nice, but that has no impact on kind of the rest of the car. So the first time you drain the oil, you want to wipe out your oil pan. That way you can see, start with a really fresh, clean oil pan. That way you can see if there's any particles in there. You don't have to be like sifting through garbage in your oil pan. You should do that anyway, but especially in this circumstance. Okay, I got my oil down there. It looks kind of goofy. It's really dark, but it's kind of red tinged. I don't really know what that's all about, but I'm going to leave that. But I'm going to go ahead and leave that there for right now. The next thing on the list is to start pulling this cover off. And this is the really tricky part, because you really don't want to have issues with these guys. That would really suck. And so that does not feel right. Crap. Okay, so I did look in here before, and I noticed all this really crappy RTV. All of these ones are stripped out. And you can see, like, it's totally just stripped out. Every single one. Dang it. That sucks a lot. So, this is going to slow things down a lot. I thought I was going to be pretty freaking screwed because of whoever took this valve cover off last time. What I found, if you don't already have one of these, or if you don't know what this is just by the box, you're lucky. Maybe. Anyway, it's one of these little like auto out kinds of things. It works for stripped bolts, and so it kind of goes over the top of it and it pulls on it and rips it out. Anyway, so what I'm doing, I've had success with a couple of them, is taking the smallest one and hammering it on and then coming back in and pulling them off. Now obviously that one was already loose, but that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm going to see if I can get them all off like that. I'm really hoping I can, because if not, I think what I'm going to have to do is either come in and drill the heads off and then buy a bunch of new bolts, or come in and cut the heads off. Either way, I don't want to do any of that. So this is going to take a forever long time, and I'm going to have to buy new bolts anyway. But I figure this might be better than cutting them off. I don't know, we'll see. Basically, I'm just kind of screwed over no matter what. Whoever did this last time didn't know what they were doing, and depending on when this leak started, the last guy who owned it took it to his mechanic, and his mechanic was not a Subaru mechanic. And I'm kind of assuming that's who did this. Before you even take anything to it, what I would do is take a 50-50 solution of acetone and ATF and spray the whole thing down. That's basically just like a really good penetrating oil that really deals with rust and stuff. So spray down the front, spray down the backs, try and get everything kind of loose. Let it sit for a few hours. If you don't have that, just use like PB Blaster. WD-40 doesn't work as well. Use a penetrating oil. WD-40 is just a lubricant, and it's not really even a lubricant. Anyway, use a penetrating oil, spray it down, let it sit for a while, and then go for it. If yours looks screwed over like mine do, don't buy the car. No, you just have a lot more work ahead of you. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing tonight. I honestly don't know if I'm going to finish it all tonight. There's about 60 of these little bolts. So they're about every 1.5 to 2 inches all the way around the cover, all the way down the bottom side of the cover, and there's a few in the middle of the cover. So that's all I'm doing tonight, which is kind of all I had planned, but I had only planned to be here working on the car for about an hour, and now I might be here for a few. I don't even know what time it is right now. So it's 7, I got here at 6. So I was planning on leaving right now. I don't want to leave too late because the roads are really crappy today. We got like 8 inches of snow, and it's about 7 degrees outside right now. So I don't want those crappy roads to freeze on me. But I got a Subaru, and if I go slow, I'll be okay. Anyway, I just didn't want to be here all night. So, but yeah, that looks like that's what I'm doing tonight. It's tons of fun. Be really careful of your AC condenser that's right on the back side of your hammer, because you don't want to backlash with your hammer and just blow this open. My brother did that, and it sucks, so don't do it. Hey. Okay, real quick tool review. This is a ratcheting breaker bar that I got from Harbor Freight for like $8. Maybe it was like 20 bucks. It's only a 3/8, but it ratchets. It's really cool. And like, there we go. It's going the other way. I like it so far anyway. Although I don't know how really great it is as a breaker bar because it has all that up here, but I don't know. Cool little thing. Okay, so I'm gonna call it quits for the night. I think it's about 8:30. Yeah, 8:31. So I pulled the AC condenser out so I could actually get in here. I was able to get almost all of them on the top out, or at least started to where I can do them by hand. This guy's being a butt because I can't get it in on that one, so I might just have to cut that one off. Now, I didn't try any down on this side. There's some, like this one here and this one here, that like there's no way I can even get in there to it, so I'm gonna have to drill that one out. I started coming down the side, and I got most of them down the side. This one was giving me trouble, so I jumped over and was doing these ones. Anyway, it's just getting late, and I'm gonna call it a night. There's always some kind of setback or something unexpected, and I knew about the issues that this front cover had, and I knew that it had been pulled off once. I just didn't connect the dots that whoever pulled it off and stripped out all of the bolts, so that basically he put them in and nobody's ever getting them out again. In the conventional way, at least. So that's a big bummer, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just making for more work. Chugging along. I might come back here tomorrow and just kind of work on it all day. I mean, that's probably what I will do. I'll have a car tomorrow, so I might be over here all day getting to it. Hopefully I'll be able to make more progress than I did tonight. I mean, I'll be able to get this cover off tomorrow. Don't know how long it's going to take me. I probably have at least another hour and a half. I mean, getting each one of these takes 3 to 5 minutes depending on its location, and the ones that are left are all kind of in crappy locations. So that's it for today. Day 2 of working on the car. Pretty big setback, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. I already said that. Anyway, that's it for day 2 of working on the head gaskets. My goal for today was just to get that pulley off, get the front cover off, and then drop the exhaust. And so I guess I only accomplished one of my goals that I had for tonight, was just getting the pulley off. Whatever. Anyway, taking the AC condenser off also made it so I could just shove the AC unit back there and not have to worry about it, and not put any strain on those hoses, which is kind of nice. I will have to recharge it, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Tune in for the next episode of this, and click below for that subscribe button so you don't miss any more head gasket updates or any other cool supercharger or turbo boosted updates, because yeah. Anyway, see you next time.